Okay. The arrival of September and the birth of a new fall season in a couple of weeks brings some of the best times to embrace the beauty of flowers and plants, and the beauty of having things native growing in your backyard is even that much more special. Jackson Hudecki, big proponent of that. Back on the show. Last time you brought some dirt and we played around in the dirt, and you brought some more dirt to
That's
talk
right.
about dirt.
You were so excited about all of the dirt, which I'm going to have to stop you right there and just correct you a little bit, Hamilton. We refer to it as soil. Let's talk about it as soil because it's made up of so many different things, and I would actually be in trouble from an old college professor if he heard me talking about dirt. So we're talking about soil because it's really exciting.
Okay. What you brought in this pot is kind of exciting because there was something in here the last time you were on the show.
Yeah, so we've been having some work done on our house. We had to get our whole porch taken off and have it rebuilt. And I had all these plants growing out front. And a few months ago, I was on the show and I brought in just some soil from like the spring just to look through it. And I wanted to save some plants. And back in the spring, this was only about a couple inches high. And I put it in this pot and put it in the backyard. And I was like, what's going to grow from it? And sure enough, this plant emerged, and it's called an obedient plant. And some of it's kind of showing signs of fall. In fact, even on the drive up here, a lot of the flowers left. Right. But it blooms from August to October. And when we talk about trying to encourage wildlife to your spaces, we want to have things that bloom all year round. No plant blooms all year round, mind you, so you kind of have to be strategic with things that bloom in, you know, May, June, July, August, then August through October, so that we're feeding life right throughout.
Can we get into the soil?
Yeah.
So what do you want to see in this soil here?
Well, the soil, you know, this might be something where we don't see a ton of stuff because it's been in this pot. Right. But what I wanted to show and what I thought was really cool is that, and again, making a mess here, sorry, CH, is all of these roots that are growing through here. And what's cool about this obedient plant is that it grows via rhizomes. So that means that when the roots are going through the ground, it'll shoot up plants through the root system.
Like here's another one. Do we know what is this the same one?
This is the same one. Yeah, it got chewed by some sort of critter in my backyard. But look at all these roots. Look at all that. So it's, of course, growing in a circle because it's been in this circular pot, which this is what you see sometimes with city trees when they're in those containers, is they don't have a lot of spots to grow. What I'm not seeing in here are a ton of insects right now. I'm not seeing a ton of
we want insects in there, don't we?
Of course, yeah. we want to see some things in there, but this hasn't been in the ground, right? This has been in this pot.
So it's different. What's in this pot?
So this one is a bit different because this was just a plain, like this, I just put soil in here and I didn't touch it. Right. And so when we see an area that has been disturbed, when you remove the plant life from an area, some of the first things to show up are maybe plants that we don't like very much. This is an introduced violet over here. We've got a couple other things, but I also don't know what is exactly in here. We got dandelion. I know one of these is a plant.
What do we do with this though? Do we get rid of this stuff?
Well, I guess that's the fun part about being an amateur or a rookie gardener is just try and research some things. And we want people like just doing things and not knowing everything right away because that's what helps people learn.
You went on a walk, and we have video of this walk. And on this walk, there's some native plants and some non-native plants.
Yeah, and we can cut to it here. So this is along Spencer Creek. So there's the touch me not plant, which is really cool. But look at that, is all goldenrod, all of that bright yellow. We love seeing that, and you'll see this in a lot of conservation areas. You'll see this, and that's some Joe Pye weed right there. That is a great plant. But what I'm going to show here, this is ragweed, and a lot of people think that your allergies in the fall come from goldenrod, which is a native plant, which it doesn't come from goldenrod. It comes from that plant, ragweed, and there it is growing side by side together. So that's sometimes a myth that is shown in the world, and we got a lot of cool insects. There's some bumblebee and a honeybee there.
Yeah, but this is all just the importance of native plants and what you guys do with the Hamilton Naturalists Club.
Yeah, so we try to do our best. I can move this over here. We do our best to try and just get people to step out of their shell a little bit, be a safe spot where you can be a nature nerd, a plant nerd. Even if you're a baby nerd, we want you to use the Naturalist Club or any of these organizations, the conservation authorities, RBG, you name name it. There's all these classes and programs where we encourage people to just get out and learn.
You have a number of events coming up in September.
That's right.
Okay,
yep.
so like, where do we sign up? Do you just show up? What's the best thing to? What's the best?
A little
thing
bit
to
of
do?
both. Some of the outings for the Naturalist Club you might want to pre-register for, but some things are just show up.
Yeah.
We do 2 meetings a month. One's at the McMaster Innovation Park, just next week on the 11th, where we're talking about the biodiversity action plan. So our main employee at the Naturalist Club, Jen Baker, is going to be talking all about this new city implement where we're going to be talking all about biodiversity in the city of Hamilton.
We didn't get to something that's very important. We'll have to have you back on because there was a non-native species that was dropped somewhere in the area that is no good. Okay, so we'll have you back on for that. Where can we follow along? That's it right there. Okay, somebody dropped a python. Do not do that.
Please, no. We have a major responsibility on this planet to do our best, and doing stuff like that, and planting plants you don't know about.
Yeah.
Maybe not the greatest, but we want to celebrate the good stuff. So join us at the Naturalist Club.
Hamilton Nature.
HamiltonNature.org.
.org. Jackson Hudecki.
Thanks for having me.
Shirts, like we got flowers. Are these native flowers on our shirts? Is the question.
Let's get a book.